Hello guys, so today we're back into HTML forms. So today we're going to be talking about form validation. So let's say that this has to be greater than 6 characters. But since we didn't do any validation, okay, I admit. Oopsie. It has to do like that. But now if you do it, it just submits it like that. So to do that, we got to do JavaScript form validation. And how do we do that? Well, that's what I'm going to explain. So first of all, create a new JavaScript file and link it. Now, actually, you have to give a name to the form. I know that sounds insane. Why would you need to give a name to a form? But that's what you actually need. Anyway, let's just name this form name. Now we got to create a new function because then only we can call it. And let's just call this function myFunc. Okay. Now let's do this. And now let's just create a variable. And let's just call it maybe password. Because we're going to validate this password to be more than 6 characters all the time. Anyway, so now password equal to. So now we got to use the document thingy again. And now we got to use a method called forms. And now we got to use the brackets and give in the form name, which is form, specifically form. And now we got to give in the input that you're trying to save name. You got to give the name of the input you're trying to save. And in this case, the name of the input is pvd because we're saving the password. pvd. And now we got to give the dot value method. Don't worry if there is no list, because really, there's not supposed to be a list. Now, let's click enter, and we got to make an if statement to return false so that this whole form won't be executed. Anyway, so let's just do this if statement. If, let's say that pvd dot length, let's just say that maybe if the plus sign is in pvd, let's say, okay, that now we're gonna just what? Yeah, so let's just say that alert message. Yeah, alert. Let's just say there cannot be a plus sign in the password. Well, this does not this doesn't apply to every site. It's not always a real validation, but this is just to learn. Anyway, now we got to return false so that it does not submit it. Return false. Oopsie. Also save this. Oopsie. Also, yeah. So now that we created the function and put its thingy, we got to also add this method called onSubmit. Not method, I mean attribute. And now we got to use the function that we put in, which in this case is myFunc. Okay, now, so myFunc is ready. So now, let's just submit this. Okay. Let's just do this. Photos. Okay. Now let's see that we put in a plus sign. Okay, this might not work. Let's just try a different example, simpler. Now let's just say pvd.length, is smaller than 6. Let's try this. Also, let's just change the sign. It has to at least be 6 characters. Now, boom, boom. Now if we do this, ta-da! The page says it equal to, it has to be at least 6 characters now. What is this? Okay. Now, ta-da! Now let's add in another. Instead, this time let's just give him like a div to like print this out. I mean, like, that's better, right? Yeah. So anyway, so let's add this div quickly. Div. Now, let's just add in this ID here. Equal, let's just put in the ID as error message. Okay. Now if this happens, or this sort of thing that does happen, it'll like do this. Instead of an alert, it'll put in document dot get, oopsie, not animation, I mean get element by, oops, see, there. So now, wait, first of all, so let's just take this away. So what's the ID again? Error. So let's just put in this ID here, error dot inner HTML, oopsie, equal to, it has to be at least 6 characters. There, so now if you do this again, okay, now there's something wrong here. Document.get element by ID. Okay, so maybe not div, but instead I mean, like, you know, not this, not div. Instead I mean like p. There. Now Ctrl save. If you see this, see that? Now it says it at least have to be 6 characters. Yeah, so those are the basic. Now let's add in a new method that it has to be less than 10 characters. Or maybe just 12 characters. Yeah, that would be better. Anyway, so let's just add in a new method. Else if tvd.length is greater than 12 characters, then let's just say, yeah, so document dot get element by ID error, which says dot inner HTML equal to, it has the max of only 12. See? Also return false. Ctrl save. Just a second. Ctrl save, Ctrl save, Ctrl save. There. So now let's save this. And if we do this, it says it has to be at least 6 characters. But if we do so long, it says it has a max of only 12. But if you do it less, then it'll put in, ta-da! Okay, yeah, so those are the, also, you know why I didn't put in an empty thingy? Because we already have a way to do that, which is called required. So sometimes you can do HTML validation, but most of the time you'll be doing JavaScript validation. So anyway, bye-bye guys. See you next time.